The obvious candidates, Calgary, Winnipeg. We know those two want to be active. Philly, we know, wants to be active as they look to kickstart this rebuild a little bit. But give me your kind of off the radar GM who's lurking around the streets of Nashville and maybe make a big splash this week.
I think there's a couple teams that are lurking. I think two of them are in New York. Don't really have a good sense of what Lou Lamoriello is up to with the Islanders. They don't have a first-round pick. I'm curious to see what they do to change the makeup of their team. In some ways, they're locked in and are going to run it back. But at the same time, I think they have to do something a little bit differently. They've been trying to get Scott Mayfield signed, for instance, to keep him. They've been working on that. I think the Rangers too are interesting. Like they've had, when you consider where they're at, they've had Barclay Goodrow. His name's been floating out there as a salary dump. I think they want to try and get back to a level that they thought they were at when they had Kane and Tarasenko on the right side of their lineup. That's something that's intriguing to them. Like I don't see those teams being sort of uppercase teams that make a splash, but I also have my eye on the Toronto Maple Leafs and what happens this week with William Nylander. Brad Treliving, I think, is pushing hard to get a Nylander contract extension done, or at least the parameters of an extension, so that he can then move on to other parts of his business. That's their first preference and priority. However, I will tell you that if at some point Brad Treliving finds that there's no path forward, or that talks with William Nylander have reached a dead end and there's going to be no way to get this done, I don't want to speak in any sort of absolutes, but I would say that if it got to that point, and I have no indication that it's there anywhere close, that he wouldn't be afraid to move him.